There's no expansion for the UFL in 2025, but we can dream about it in 2026. Let's take a look at 6 franchises the UFL should consider bringing back to life, and 1 franchise that should stay buried forever. Why 6? Well, assuming the UFL keeps all 8 teams from 2025, let's get a league of 14 total teams, and we will assume that copyrights are fluid. Let's start with a team from the original USFL. The UFL is in desperate need of a West Coast presence, so why not the Oakland Invaders from the original USFL? The Invaders actually had roots before the USFL version from 1983 until 1985. The Twin City Cougars were 4-time champions when they played in the California Football League from 1977 to 1982. That franchise became the basis for the Oakland Invaders in the USFL. Oakland's United Soccer League team, they're currently planning a new stadium, so seems like the new Invaders could find a home there. Let's keep it in California with a franchise in San Diego, and, we could have kept the AAF's Fleet, which drew an average of more than 19,000 fans to the former Jack Murphy Stadium in its 4 games there. But sadly, the Fleet and the stadium are no more. We're going to let them rest in peace, and we're going to revive a team that played in Anaheim originally. We're going to move them to San Diego, but the name still works. The Southern California Sun of the World Football League, with that incredible magenta and orange color scheme, well, they were one of the best teams in the WFL and actually had some good front office management. Unfortunately, the league did not. A team in the NFL abandoned market could be a West Coast version of St. Louis and give the UFL a strong Western brand. How about in 2026, the sun rises again in Southern California? UFL, you can have that one free of charge. Let's go to the Alliance of American Football's graveyard, and we're going to dig up the Salt Lake Stallions. It is close enough in proximity to Oakland and San Diego to really form a base for a Western Conference. The Stallions played in Rice-Eccles Stadium, home of the Utah Utes, and would definitely win the Most Picturesque Stadium award in the league. The Stallions struggled with attendance, but now remember, the AAF played in February in Utah. A later schedule and a good team could offset all that. Let's head back to the original XFL to give the UFL another Midwestern presence. The Chicago Enforcers, with one of the best logos in that league, played at Soldier Field to middling crowds, but like Salt Lake, seems there was little appetite for alt football in February and March. But bringing back the Enforcers, that'll put a franchise in a top 10 media market, and it provides a regional rivalry for the St. Louis Battlehawks. What's not to love about all that coming back? The Enforcers are still alive, kinda. The name is used by the Chicago Police Department in the National Public Safety Football League. Maybe I'm old school, but I still think for any league to be taken seriously and survive, you have to have a franchise in the biggest city in the country, even if you cheat a little bit and maybe play across the river like the World League of American Football's New York, New Jersey Knights did in 1991 and 1992. Let's get a Northeastern presence in the UFL, and let's do it with one of the best logos and uniforms in all of alt football. While football belongs in New York in the Northeast, I believe it belongs in Florida in the South. Now, there were a lot of alt football options with Florida connections that we could have revived, from the World Football League's Florida Blazers, the World League's Orlando Thunder, the USFL's Jacksonville Bulls, the original XFL's Orlando Rage. But I went with the XFL 3.0's Orlando Guardians to revive for 2026. Now, it would be quite okay to change that bad color scheme, which was almost as bad as the play of the entire team, but Orlando's Camping World Stadium feels like one of the capitals of alt football. It is a natural conference rivalry for the Birmingham Stallions, and it gives the UFL a stronger southeastern U.S. presence. I thought about adding the XFL's 2.0 Tampa Bay Vipers back to the mix, but Orlando just feels right for alt football. Plus, it is time to let this whole Vipers thing die. The 2020 Tampa Bay Vipers, they only got to play a couple of games in Raymond James Stadium before COVID shut down the league. But that venue is so Buccaneers themed, the optics just seem strange. The 2023 XFL Vegas Vipers, that was a true disaster all the way around. From the Cashman Field debacle to the terrible coaching that led to Luis Perez being traded midseason to Arlington, where he won the XFL title. The XFL couldn't even get it right later when they hired Anthony Blevins to be the Vipers head coach. but then they folded the franchise when the leagues merged. What franchises would you like to see return to the field and why? Let me know in the comments and we can keep that discussion going in a future video. For a look at one franchise we may never see again, check out this video and be sure to like and subscribe for more alt football content.